listening to the House of Pain on the Fan.
You know, everyone, there is a better way to deal with pain and injury, and you can find it at the ARPWave Clinic. The ARPWave Clinic works on the principle that joint problems, tears, sprains, fractures, or repetitive task injuries are caused by muscles not properly absorbing all the force. Let's explain that to you. The muscles of your body are driven and controlled by electricity, and when they're injured, you develop a type of a short circuit. ARPWave locates the actual origin of that short circuit. It's often not where you think it would be, and then rapidly repairs it all. The ARP Clinic treats the most elite athletes in the world. Imagine what the clinic could do for you. And the results are guaranteed. That's right, guaranteed. You can eliminate your pain and improve your quality of life. There is a better way to deal with pain and injury. The ARPWave Clinic. Go to KFAN.com, keyword pain, for more on ARPWave or ARPWave.com.
As yesterday.
Welcome back to the House of Pain. I'm the common man, Dan Cole, here on the Fan, along with Dennis Thompson. He's the founder of the ARPWave Clinic. We're talking about the ARPWave system and what it can do for you, how it can help you with injuries and prevent injuries, et cetera, et cetera. When we last left, we were talking about the difference between like a TENS unit or electrical stimulation in a doctor's office or your tool that's called the ARP. How does it work? How does the ARP work? I use it. I kind of get how it works. It's funny. It's very good how you gave me not only a written, I think you call it a protocol, the program, what I do for 33 days, but you also sent me, when I asked for it, one that actually shows diagrams, so I know exactly where I'm supposed to put those the electrical stimulation
the electrodes.
And so it's wonderful in that way. So it's very it walks you right through it very easily. But how does the ARP work?
Well, the ARP is, and again, getting back to the two signals, we have one signal that says don't send an alarm signal, and we have one signal that says send an alarm signal, and the one that says don't send the alarm system overrides the other one. And I think it's easier to explain how everything else works and then what the difference is. Anytime you put electrical current, whether it's alternating current or direct current into the body, the traditional protocol in all of standard medicine is you turn up the power, the patient, it gives you an indication of discomfort, and you turn it down just a little bit and you have them sit there. And the reason you have them sit there is because the muscles are contracting simultaneously. So if we have it on your arm, your bicep and your tricep simultaneously are contracting. Therefore, very difficult to move. So you can't move. Without movement, there is no healing, in my opinion. So what we did is we created a device that would allow you to move. If you recall, everything we had you do was about movement.
Yes.
You moved, you kept your arms in proper position, and we watched your compensation pattern. And I think another important factor is that anytime you're hurt, you create an immediate reaction to staying away from the tissue that's hurt. So if you sprain your right ankle, you're going to shift all your weight to the left ankle. That's just automatic. And then that becomes your new way of moving until you figure out that, wait a minute, it doesn't hurt out here anymore. And some people never, ever come back off of that compensation pattern. They all shift most of their weight to the opposite side. It's called pain avoidance, and we all do it, no matter who we are, whether you're a professional athlete or whether you're a grandmother. You're going to avoid pain. So what we've done is we've created a way where we can get rid of the feeling or the signal of pain to allow you to move efficiently to break those compensation patterns. And the ARP doesn't send an alarm signal. It's the only device out there that is harmonious to the body, so therefore it doesn't send any alarm signal.
Doing the show with you now for 6 going on 7 weeks now, it keeps coming to mind, the word you use a lot is being in balance. Right. What does that mean to be? I mean, I know what it means in balance. If I'm walking a tightrope, I got to be balanced. But what does in balance mean when you're talking about your system?
There is, but I'm going to use a caveat to that, and that is that if you have a tendon, a ligament, or a muscle that's torn completely in half, you absolutely must have surgery to repair that. However, after the surgery, we can dramatically help you by reducing the amount of time it takes to recover from that surgery by upwards of 80%.
80%?
80%.
That's a pretty good percentage, too.
Yes, it is.
We, I've talked about this a couple of times during the show where when I went to your clinic originally for my first visit, the walls filled with athletes, National Football League players. It's a who's who of some of the best players in the league, and many of them have obviously been helped by your system. I mean, it's worked wonders for a lot of them. We've had some testimonials on the air here, and when I tell people about it, a lot of people start thinking, oh, it's for elite athletes, huh? But I'm not an elite athlete. You see me swing a golf club. I'm not elite. It helped me. You probably help more average, everyday, common guys, pardon the pun, than you do, world-class athletes.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, probably 60, 70% of the people we work on usually fall into one of three categories. Either they fall into the category where they've been to the Mayo Clinic or they've been to such and such a place or experts, and they just say, look, there's nothing else we can do. Just live on medication for the rest of your life. The other one would be they've tested all the alternative medicines and all of the homeopathic remedies, and they've just run out. We call those last resort patients. They've tried everything, nothing worked, and they just think they have to live in pain. Number two, I think, would fall into the category of a neurological problem, such as a MS patient or a CPCF, anybody that's got a neurological disease. We don't do anything to help the disease. We just improve the quality of life by being able to use the ARP as an external brain to stimulate the muscles that they're unable to do on their own. And the third would be direct referrals. Somebody gets hurt, a kid gets hurt, out in the street, rollerblading or whatever he's doing or she's doing, and they've heard about us, and so they send them in to us. That's pretty much most of our business.
And you have a number of stories where, and some of the questions, and we'll get to some of them, maybe some are included this week, but were questions where, hey, I've been told it'll take me X amount of months to recover. You're convinced you can cut that recovery time by, in some cases, half or more?
Oh, definitely half.
Yeah.
There's never been a time when we couldn't do half.
Yeah.
We're in the performance business. When we're dealing with an injury, I put a tremendous load on our staff, and the whole concept behind my system is designed to accelerate the recovery of all injuries. Now, that's the name of the company, that's the name of our philosophy, and how we do that, and any doctor will understand this immediately, is we just simply flood the area with blood and take the force out of the area, and the tissue will do what it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, not too many people have that tool to be able to do that.
You do.
We do.
And we'll talk more about it when we come back. We'll also include your questions. And remember, if you have a question for Dennis Thompson or his staff, arpwave.com. arpwave.com. We'll come back with our final segment, including some listener emails and questions here on the House of Pain on the Fan.
You're listening to the House of Pain on the Fan.
There is a better way to deal with pain. The ARP Wave Clinic. Your muscles are driven and controlled by electricity. When they're injured, you develop a type of short circuit. ARP Wave locates the actual origin of that short circuit and then rapidly repairs it. The pros at ARP Wave can explain how it all works more clearly, but all you need to know is that it works to eliminate pain. Go to KFAN.com, keyword pain, for more on ARP Wave or arpwave.com.